Bob Torres with the California Western Dressage Association, and we're here today in sunny California. But coming from all the way from Texas is someone I want you to meet today. I want to introduce to you right now Krystal Hinman, who's right now in first place and probably going to win the 2024 Virtual High Point Show for the Therapeutic Rider. So here she is. How you doing, Krystal?
I'm doing fine.
Good, good. Well, congratulations for all your success there. I can see now behind you there that success looks like it comes pretty easy for you. You're just racking up the ribbons there. That's really cool. Um, but the most impressive, of course, is right now you're your high point winner of the virtual therapeutic class on the California Western Dressage Association. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on?
All right. I'm 42 years old. I have a disability called arthrogryposis, which is basically just stiff joints. I've been riding horses since I was 2 years old. I started riding horses as just for therapy reasons, and then I started competing and moving on up into like more competitive riding rather than just the therapeutic riding. And
Hmm.
about 3 years ago, I went blind in my right eye, and I thought I was going to have to stop riding because my depth perception was off with only having one eye, and my balance and everything was it was scary being on a horse
Mm.
when it's only one eye. So I
Right.
thought I was going to have to give it up. But the coach that I had at the time actually made me ride with both eyes closed so
Oh,
that I had to trust how I felt rather than what I seen. And that helped a lot.
oh my gosh, what a great way to learn how to ride again by she had you. I've heard about riding with no arms, but without your eyes open, that's different.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a very
so
weird
so so you
sensation.
did so you did that for a while and that kind of helped with your balance and stuff?
And I did that on my old horse. I have now retired him.
Okay.
But he was pretty much bomb proof, so I trusted him. I knew he wasn't going to do anything. But he's 28 years old now, so I don't ride him anymore.
Okay. And so now you're on a new horse. Tell us about your new horse.
Yes. Yes. So all these ribbons and everything have been won with the one I have now. Her name is Buttercup.
Yeah.
Her registered name is As You Wish Princess Buttercup. She is a 16-year-old halflinger,
Oh,
and I
okay.
actually rescued her from the kill pen.
That's nice. That's great. So you're doing all your showing now on Buttercup.
Yes.
Okay. And so tell us a little bit about your partnership and your companionship with Buttercup and how that developed. So taking a horse from the kill pen is quite I would say a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And then also probably for Buttercup too, being
Yes.
taken on by a physically challenged person too, right? I
It
mean,
was very
tell
strange.
us
So
about
like
that.
from the day one, like when I first saw her, you'd think that because I'm in a wheelchair, so you would
Mhm.
think the wheelchair would scare her. But actually, when the leader was bringing her around the corner for me to see her, she actually yanked away from the leader and came straight to me and put her head in my lap.
That's
And she
wonderful.
follows me. She followed me around like a puppy. Never was scared of the wheelchair. I didn't even have to really teach her to follow me or stay beside me or be okay with the wheelchair. She was totally fine.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So she bonded to you right away then.
Mhm.
I mean,
Now,
it was an
the one thing
immediate
I did
thing.
have to work on with her, she was pretty much scared of everything, other than the wheelchair.
Everything but the
Surprisingly,
wheelchair.
yeah.
So she felt the safety of the wheelchair, probably wanted to be with you all the time,
Mhm.
right? I
Yeah,
mean,
so I didn't get to ride her immediately. It
oh
took
yeah.
several months to get her where she was safe enough for me to ride. She was not being bad. She was just being quite spooky. Like everything scared her. So we did a lot of showmanship, a lot of like groundwork. Actually, that was the first thing I showed her in was showmanship.
Ah,
So I taught her a lot of groundwork because she was broke to ride when I got her. Like she
hmm
knew her basics, but she
hmm
had no ground manners. Not that she was being bad or pushy. She just didn't understand what to
Right.
do. So I taught her Everything. Like everything she knows to do now, I taught her.
Right. And you bring up a good point. Sometimes you get these horses that they're not doing anything bad. They just have never been taught
Yeah.
how to behave themselves on the ground. People
Yeah.
want to ride them right away. They want to do all this stuff right away, but they haven't even started anything on the ground. So the groundwork is so important, isn't it?
Yeah. The only thing she was really kind of naughty with is she didn't understand personal space. She
Yeah.
was like wanting to push into like if someone else was like when I was doing it, she didn't try to like push into me. But if someone else was leading her, she was like stomp all over them. Like she didn't know where her feet were. So
Ah.
she was constant like she even stepped on my grandma's foot.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes. Well, 90% of the horses are that way when we get them when they don't know anything, they don't understand that. But I'm so glad she found somebody like you so she could learn with your accomplishments and everything. How would you encourage the physically challenged to try riding in a divisional class or maybe a therapeutic class? How would you help them and encourage them to maybe participate in something like what you do?
Okay, well, so when I first started riding, I had a lot of people tell me, you don't have what it takes to compete. You
Oh,
know, you're not going to be strong enough to get the horse to listen to you, or you're going to get disappointed when you lose and
hmm
things like that. And I listened to them for a long time. And that's why I just stuck with therapeutic riding, just doing therapy, not competing,
hmm
not doing anything. And then when I lost my eye and I had to basically relearn to ride all over again, I was like, well, if I can beat that and overcome that, I can try to compete.
hmm
So I think the biggest thing is don't listen to anyone. Like if someone says, "Oh, you can't do that,"
Right,
how do you know? You know,
right.
and even if you lose, you at least tried. You know.
hmm
So
After
yeah,
all, after all, horses learn from their mistakes too. We can do the same thing. You know, we
the worst thing of failing is just not trying at all.
exactly. Yeah, 100%. And
I mean, even my family, I think it's because they were more like, you're going to get hurt, or
mhm,
I know they meant well, but
right.
they were trying to hold me back, and I think everyone
hmm
was just trying to protect my feelings, But I was
Yeah,
like, if I
yeah.
lose, at least I know I tried.
hmm
And the first competition that Buttercup and I entered, we won.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. It sounds like you found a really good partner to draw from and to just continue what you're doing so well. I believe Western Dressage is such a great program for everyone. I know you have a trainer named Alana, and she's helping you with some of these virtual classes that you're doing. And I wanted to ask you, what are just some of the things that you and Alana work on to improve your writing or to make corrections or do some of the things that you do out in the arena?
Well, like today, we worked on leg yields
hmm
and getting but I have really weak legs, so Buttercup is having to learn to pay attention to like the most minute
Oh, wow.
pressure and my shifting my weight. So she's having to learn to pick up on cues that most horses would ignore.
Right.
Um, so because Alana wants me to be slightly more quiet with my hands and not
hmm
use not um lean on my hands so much on directing her with my reins.
hmm
And I have one leg that's slightly stronger. So we were working on getting Buttercup to listen and understand what I want her to do with just the smallest. Like I don't have the strength to like do like steady pressure, but I
Uh-huh.
can tap like just a little tap. So she's learning when I tap hard, that means go faster, but when I tap a little bit, it means to go that, opposite direction. So we're working on that. And strangely enough, the thing I struggle with the most in dressage is center line because I only have one eye.
hmm
So when I think I'm on the center, I'm off by like 2 feet. So
Oh, is
we're
that right?
working, we're working on that.
Okay, well, that's a good thing to work on. We all work on that.
Yeah.
And that's such a cool thing what you said about the light touch
Mhm.
because even Olympics, you watch those horses that they ride at the Olympics, and most of us are always trying to work on the light touch. if we can ask our horses to move with just that slightest touch, and here you are, you're already working on that because you have to. We're working on it because we have to too, but yours is special because that's all you have, right? You've got that light touch, and they have to learn from that. That is awesome. That is awesome. It's really neat how that comes together with them.
But I also have to be careful with Buttercup because while she understands that my aids are slightly different, she's also learned what I can and cannot do, and she tries to exploit that.
Yeah, they all do. Yep, they all do. Yeah. It seems like horses sometimes know when you don't know. And that can be a problem. So I'm glad you have someone helping you on the ground. And that's something that I always try to point out and stress with riders that are learning and they want to move up the steps in dressage is it's good to have somebody on the ground. At least for me, I like to say once a week, because they're on the ground, your coach is on the ground, they're reminding you of the things that you were supposed to learn that they taught the week before, right? Do your homework, okay? And then they come back and they remind you of that. But it's good to do that. I always encourage people, if you want to learn dressage and move up the levels, get a good trainer, get a good coach to come and work with you, at least once a week. I mean, that's kind of my thing is I'd love
Well,
to see people do that. And I
Alana is
think that
not like she's not a dressage coach. I mean, she's actually taking dressage herself,
uh-huh,
but she is a very good horse woman. So she's
uh-huh,
teaching me, and she actually helped me with my 20-meter circles.
mm-hmm,
Because okay, so like the 20-meter circles at E and B were fairly easy because I had slightly more guide where I know where I need to turn. But she put little pieces of yellow tape on the rail
ah,
to
yeah,
guide me. So once I pass E or B, on the other opposite side, I know where I need to be far enough out, and then at the center line I start turning like the other way. So she's marked off everything with just a tiny piece of yellow tape, and that's once you do
oh,
a actual 20-meter circle, you're like, oh, that's what I was doing wrong.
okay, okay. All right. Yeah. So every day is a learning experience, and every
Mhm.
day we try to get better, right? And you're doing such amazing thing with that with the kill pen horse that you adopted, and and I hope that people when they see this educational video that they realize that that there are horses out there that need human companionship, and they hopefully they find somebody like you. Well, Krystal, I'm so happy that you had a chance to spend some time with us, and remember to thank Maddie Young, another exceptional writer that's from California here that helped find you, so we get a chance to talk to you, and also thanks to
She's actually why I joined California Association because Texas doesn't have a state affiliate, and
awesome.
I was just doing Western Dressage, doing competitions but not
Uh-huh.
with anyone, and then she's like, come join me.
Well, good job, Maddie. We'll be talking to her later because she's in our affiliate, and hopefully people from Texas see this film and they'll be able to find us and go to cawda.org and find us and find out how you can get involved with California Western Dressage. And I think it's a fun group. It's got lots of great educational stuff on our website. We show all year long usually from February all the way to November, and we give out great prizes and different things like that. A lot of cool events. Also, want to thank Andrea Lewis, who sponsors your class this year, so that's great. And so we're proud of you, Krystal. We hope you success in the future, and make sure to give me a call anytime you need to get more information and stuff like that about Western Dressage that we could share with your friends over there in Texas.
Okay.
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 All right. Thanks so much now. One, two, three. It's
It's about
about
the
the
journey.
journey. Good job. Okay. Krystal, have a good evening. We'll see you later.
All right, you too.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.